What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another tutorial. Now in today's video I got my top 5 attacking quick tips that can instantly increase and improve performance and help you get those more wins in FIFA 23. But without further ado, let's just go straight into the video. So the first I wanted to go over is the long shots. They're still very effective and they work very well. They're simple to do. All you want to do is when you get the ball is that you want to apply a lot more power than you think if you're further away from goal. I would say the best time to hit it is around this distance, and the reason why is you have enough time for the shot to go up and then dip towards goal like so. And as you can see, the goalkeepers, they don't really react that much. They kind of just stand there and watch it go in. So the key thing is once you're about here, so not this close, but once you're about here, hit about 3 bars of power, just over 3 bars, and most of the time it'll go into the back of the net. Now another top tip, you might have seen a lot of these pro players use these new type of shots called the trivela shots or the outside the foot shots. They also work very well, and the reason is that the way when you shoot them, they have the outside of foot, but it basically goes around the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Okay, so how do you do trivela shots? As I said, if you sit a bit further away, for example, like here, you need a lot more power. If you're sitting, for example, over here, you need less power. Don't forget, if you hit below 40% power, guys, you'll end up doing a low shot. So you make sure you have to hit it above 40%. Then all you have to do is you hold the LT button, as you can see, like so, and you press the shoot button. As you can see, if you watch Ronaldo over here, you see the animation that he does? It's an outside the foot trivela shot, and you can see that's how you get that spin, and you can see just a fraction off in this example. But I want to show this example deliberately. The key thing is that to hold the L2 button when you shoot. Don't just let go of it quickly, hold it and do a lot of power. If you don't do a lot of power, A, the shot will be too low, but B, the game will think you want to do a skilled shot or like a fancy shot. So make sure you do a lot of power and you get that trivela type animation. It works very well getting the ball back in the net. And just finally want to say, it does also work with the players that you might not think have good shooting, like Dembele. You can see, for example, like here, same thing. We go about 3 bars of power and just a bit too much. Now, what I would say to you on this as well is when you are doing this, just make sure when you're about shooting it just about here, try to green time it. If you can't green time it, don't worry, but if you can, even better. Now the next one is the player lock mechanic, one of my favorite features because you can actually make a pass and control where the attacking player runs. You can see in this example here with De La Feu, I decided to run wider because my opponent is running inwards. And you can see, for example, him able to get the ball down the wing. You can also see some of these other clips that I put in over here. You can see I use one example. I go down the wing and I switch the player inside the box. I control him to get into the space. And you can see this other example over here also down the wing that I use it just to get myself into that key position with Dembele. So the question is, well, how do you do it? Okay, so the question is how you do the player lock. Now, first of all, you have to make sure it's on in your settings, but you press the L3 and R3 button inwards, you right stick flick to a player, and then you can just choose the player. Simple as that, and you can do whatever you want with him. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you have the ball over here. First step is you press the L3 and R3 button inwards together. And what that says to the game is, as you can see, I'm just going to pause it just about here. That activates the player lock, and you can see the icon above Neymar's head. It then turns into a kite. And that means that player lock is activated. So how do I then change the De La Feu? You can see just about here is I flick my right analog stick, as you can see at the bottom, after I press L3 and R3 towards De La Feu. I can choose anyone on the pitch, by the way, but I choose De La Feu because he's running it behind. Now in the icons above this player's head, that means that if I'm in my left analog stick and I'll keep running, I'm controlling that player. So if my defender is, for example, running down, I could run inwards. If he's running, for example, like this, I could run inwards. So you can run whichever way you want to go compared to where your opponent is going. And then if I want to request the ball, so here if I press the triangle button, Neymar will do a through ball to me. AI will do it. If I do a regular pass, the game will request normal pass. If I do an L1 triangle, the game will do an L1 triangle. But here I request a driven through ball, which is an R1 plus triangle, and you see that perfectly gets the ball in behind, and that's how I'm able to break free. And that's why it's so effective, because if you're trying to go down the wing or trying to break enemy lines, it's really important. So don't forget L3 R3, press the L3 R3 button inwards like so, right stick switch and flick to a player. That's how you would defensively. As you can see, then I choose De La Feu. Now I'm controlling him. Now I can run wherever I want. So you can see near here I run wider because he's going inwards, and then I request an R1 plus triangle pass, and I'm easily able to break the defensive line. And you can see some more examples here on the screen where I use, as I showed you earlier, Neymar, where I make the pass, or I use Dembele and I get the ball. And it's very easy to push the defender manually away or to kind of bait him away and control the player yourself. If you do want to get better at FIFA 23, I do have a FIFA School Series, but just before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say that because I've been running my paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series successfully for many years, and thousands of others have joined already and still stay on. This is for all levels of those that want to improve on FIFA, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These videos are a progressive systematic learning system that teaches you everything from the core mechanics of FIFA to the meta, so you can get better at FIFA as a whole, not just this game, with examples and explanations that go beyond the scope of YouTube videos. With new videos coming out every single week, these videos also adjust to recent updates and patches so you can stay up to date. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/NealGuides, link is down below in the description. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos that are specifically made for both new gen and old gen, with new videos in FIFA 23 getting added every single week. We also have an additional group coaching as well that we started this year due to high demand and high request. And don't forget guys, it's a money back guarantee, so if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the NealGuides guarantee. Anyway, link is down below in the description, patreon.com/NealGuides. But anyway, back to the video. Okay, next one we're going to go over is the creative runs, and this is where you can use it to basically dictate and move a play. As you can see, Dembele, I make him move forward, then I make him move down, then I trick my opponent and I make him move back up again. And it's very good for trying to evade and beat your opponent. So how do you do it? Well, it's an old feature, but since how fast players are this year and how slow the game is, you can basically get away with doing this and timing it early. It's very, very good for breaking defenders. And the reason why is because AI doesn't lock onto it as well. And sometimes AI tracks the player to create space. So how exactly do you do it? Now, what you want to do is the player you want to move, for example, here I want to move Dembele. All I have to do is press the L1 button. So I'm saying to the game, okay, I want you to make a run going forward. I'm sure you know that already, or LB if you're on Xbox. But then what you do is you flick the right analog stick after. So if you want Dembele to make a run this way, then you press the L1 button and flick the right analog stick down. So let's have a look at this clip and I'll slow it down and I'll walk you through exactly what I do. So here, I get the ball. You can see here, I press the L1 button and I flick the right analog stick to the right hand side. That pushes Dembele forward. You see that? You can see the green arrows tells them where to go. Then I press, and I could change direction as well. I press the L1 button again, and then I flick it down. I'm saying, Dembele, I want you to go down into the space. And you can see there, I leave the defender. But I realize also there's some open space in the middle, so I flick it back up again, and I time that pass. So that is the key of getting through. So if you want to beat a defender or get through space, don't forget the creative runs feature, L1, and then you flick the right analog stick. Okay, the next one we're going to go over is the power shot mechanic. You can see you unleash a devastating shot from distance that you can easily score into the back of the net. It's very, very effective to shoot from distance when you want to create something out of nothing, especially a far away from goal. And the key thing is you can aim this shot manually. So not only do you get that power increase and accuracy, you can aim this manually. So how exactly do you do it? All you want to do is you want to hold the L1 plus R1 and you want to hold the shoot button, as you can see over here. Now the key thing is your left analog stick, you have to aim it at the goal. My best advice is aim at the goalkeeper initially, but once you know what you're doing, you can aim it, for example, to the goalkeeper's left, as you can see here I do Ronaldo, and I can get it into the back of the net. So don't forget, when you are doing this, L1 plus R1, the shoot button and the left analog stick to aim, and you can unleash these devastating shots from distance. And lastly, we're going to go over the lob through ball, one of the most effective ways of getting in behind every FIFA. This FIFA is exact same, except for you have to aim your left analog stick a bit more, and it's beautiful for getting those balls in behind if you've got an attacker. So how does this start? Now the first thing is when you get the ball, you have to do something that's very important that every single player just forgets to do. You want to press the L1 button. That way Neymar or your attacker will make that run going forward. So you see when I get the ball, see how Neymar sticks his hand out and starts running forward? That's the key. If you don't do that, the player will stand still. So have a look. When the ball comes towards me, I press the L1 button. So I'm saying, Neymar, start making the run. Then all I've got to do is just press the L1, the triangle button with the left analog stick, just aim it into the vicinity. Of course, try to do it a bit earlier than later, I would say. Last year, you could do it very last minute. This year, you're going to kind of do it just a tad bit earlier. About 2-3 bars of power, you're completely fine. You can see when I make that pass, time it perfectly just before I'm offside, and I'm able to get it behind. And it's a very, very effective way of getting the ball through on goal for an easy one-on-one. Now some of you may know that method already, but what about the L1 plus R1 plus triangle? That's the main one. That's the ones that all the pro players are using. And you can do these complete off angles and get a devastating ball completely in space. For some reason, some defenders, like as you can see, they glitch out. So the question is, how do you do this one? Very, very similar to the other one, except for you just hold the R1 button. So you can see the exact same thing again. You can see here, I get the ball over here with Dembele, who hasn't really got the best of passing. You see, I press the L1 button there, and that sends Neymar. So I'm saying, Neymar, I want you to make a run going forward. And by the way, you can trigger anyone on the pitch. It depends as where you face. If you're facing forward and you press the L1 button, the player in front of you will make that run. But if you aim your left hand, say like I'm over here, I'm saying, okay, Neymar, I want you to make that run going forward. He makes that run. Then all about now, it's just about timing. His hand's out, then I got to time it now. Because I'm further away, L1, R1, you see my left analog stick, I'm facing it into this direction because that's where I want the ball to go. L1, R1, and I hold the triangle button, and then you can pass the ball in behind. One thing to note is the key with this kind of pass is timing. As you can see, sometimes the player glitches out, and I want to show this example deliberately because a lot of players that actually run forward, and that's why it's very effective. But even against this player who knows what he's doing, you can see when he runs back, sometimes the players do glitch out. So it's perfect if you're trying to get the ball in behind. So don't forget L1 plus R1 plus a triangle button, and you do a threaded, or also known in the community as a driven lob through ball. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget the Trivela long shots, the player lock, the creative runs, the power shot, and the lob through ball. And don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA, you can come join my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Link is down below in the description, or you can click just over here on the screen as well. Thanks for watching, and of course, I'll catch you next time.